Ingrid Vassiliou-Feltas, and it is a privilege to deliver this workshop today on the future of risk management, specifically how to harness emerging and frontier technologies for risk management. After reviewing our objectives and providing a brief introduction on global megatrends, as well as some of the key emerging and frontier technologies, we will dive into risk drivers, high-risk categories, risk causes, risk mitigation strategies, main challenges you will encounter when performing a risk or FMA analysis, as well as the concept of risk management by design for emerging and frontier technology. We will gain insights into risk mitigation strategies that are effective for emerging and frontier technologies, and we will discuss how you can leverage the emerging and frontier technologies to augment and amplify your current risk mitigation strategy. On the backdrop of increased rushed investments to gain supremacy without doing full due diligence, an active mergers and acquisitions ecosystem, the rise of net zero economy and the creator economy, which both have exponentially increased risks on the one hand because of the race to transform the business and digital strategy to meet the requirements of the United Nations 2050 agenda. Additionally, over the last decade, we've witnessed hyperconnectivity, hypervirtualization who further increase, of course, cyber threats and cyber vulnerability that can generate new content by learning patterns from existing data called inputs, and it is programmed to create novel outputs that can be either video, 3D or 2D images, text, music, or audio files. Both these technologies can be deployed in combination, therefore increasing risks even further, but also opportunities, of course, if deployed responsibly. To give you just a scale, more than 10 years ago, it took us 1 year to analyze one human genome. More than a decade ago, it used to cost $10,000 to do the analysis for one human genome. Let's reflect how many of you are currently working in or have engaged in consultation with companies that have one or more of these emerging or frontier technologies on their strategic roadmap. Oftentimes now we see products or solutions that have 3, 4, or more of these emerging and frontier technologies in the same tech stack. The competitive landscape, lagging or conflicting regulations, lack of customized metrics, and lack of standards for these emerging and frontier technologies are also further amplifying the risk profile. And then in the second and third column, we highlight what is the same for traditional versus emerging and frontier technologies and what is different. As you can see, you still have the same level of diligence that is required for risk communication, risk documentation, continuous improvement, building a risk culture, or risk training. However, when you do your risk identification, risk assessment, risk analysis, risk mitigation, monitoring, and contingency planning, there is an increased complexity that's required, and traditional experience with traditional technologies is not going to be sufficient. So forward-thinking companies that wish to also have strong mitigation strategies in place start by considering themselves a high-hazard industry and then gradually back off from those tight guardrails when they're comfortable that all their processes are in place and that they truly had an opportunity to assess those KPIs and metrics and that the risk mitigation strategies are working as expected. But the good news is that you can have a useful trifecta that will help you with all emerging and frontier technologies currently known, and that is zero trust cyber resilience, combined with ethics by design, as well as risk management by design. Just agile, just doing design thinking, just deploying systems thinking, just having a strong Lean Six Sigma team, perhaps even Gemba and Kaizen experts in your company is often not enough for emerging and frontier technology. Experts predict that we're at the cusp of transitioning to the next generation of the World Wide Web, and that over the next decade, we will evolve from Web 3.0, Web 4.0, Web 5.0, and reach maturation about the year 2030 as per Gartner.